Among the books I've already discussed in this little series of conversations was the first Armada Ghost book, a collection of modern and classic horror stories compiled with younger readers in mind, and a volume that introduced me to the enduring joys of being pleasantly scared. M.R. James, perhaps the most famous British writer of supernatural stories, featured twice in the Armada collections, which says a lot about just how seriously the editors took the business of unsettling their readership regardless of age, because James is a genuinely frightening writer. Born in 1862, he was a medieval scholar and later the provost of King's College, Cambridge. He never married, in fact never did very much at all outside of academia. Mostly he just catalogued manuscripts, translated obscure biblical texts, investigated the ceilings of old churches, and wrote brilliant, terrifying horror stories, which he would read to students and friends each year by the fireside in his office on Christmas Eve night. I call them horror stories, even though the titles of James's first two collections refer to them, like this one, as ghost stories, because the threats in James's tales bear no resemblance to what we might traditionally think of as ghosts, vaguely spectral beings that can pass through walls, turn a room cold, or in the case of poltergeists, throw stuff around in an annoying manner. What makes James's tales so disturbing, these accounts of men poking their noses where they shouldn't in the hope of finding old manuscripts or hidden treasure, is that the terrors they uncover are physically present. They can be smelled, seen and touched, which means, of course, that those terrors can smell, see and touch others in turn. This presents a problem for the unfortunate protagonists of the stories, because the spectres mean them harm, and almost without exception, these men come to very bad ends. One of James's most famous stories is titled A Warning to the Curious, which in 5 words sums up his philosophy. Don't go sticking your nose into dark corners, because you never know what might be lurking there. James was a huge influence on my work, most obviously on my short stories, but also on my novels, which often return, as in The Land of Lost Things, to threats lying below ground, waiting for just the right moment to emerge and pounce on the unwary. From James I learned how to fill a reader with dread, and to mind my own business when it comes to churchyards and ruins, especially at night.